Adobe Acrobat Pro comes bundled with two useful accessibility features, the Accessibility Checker and the Make Accessible Wizard. To demonstrate how these two features work, let's open a sample PDF and run the checker first, followed by the Make Accessible Wizard. To run the Accessibility Checker, click on Tools at the top right of the document. Then select the Accessibility tab and click Full Check. Once Full Check is selected, a dialog box opens where we'll need to ensure that all the boxes listed under Checking Options are checked for each item in the drop-down menu to the right of Category. Once that's done, click the Start Checking button. Adobe Acrobat then checks the document for issues and displays the list in the left-hand column. As we can see, there are a number of issues with this document, so instead of attempting to fix each issue individually, we'll try running the Make Accessible Wizard to see if it can fix the issues for us. To do this, we need to go back to the Tools section in the right-hand column and select Action Wizard. Then click on the Make Accessible tab just below the Actions heading. The Make Accessible Wizard is now ready to launch, so to begin the process, click the Start button. The first dialog to appear displays the properties of the document, and we need to uncheck the Leave As Is boxes in order to fill in the relevant details. The first property field is for the title of the document, which is displayed on search engine results pages and is usually hyperlinked to the actual PDF. The title should be short and descriptive. In this case, we'll enter Small Business Entrepreneur Brochure. The second field is also used by search engines to display a short description for the document, usually below the hyperlinked title in the results page. For the purpose of this example brochure, let's enter Information for the Small Business Entrepreneur Program. The third field is for the name of the author, which could either be the creator of the document or simply George Brown College. The fourth property field is for keywords, used by search engines to help people find the document online. Keywords should be relevant, descriptive, and separated by semicolons. Keyword phrases such as George Brown College can also be used and should be separated by blank spaces with a semicolon at the end. Having entered all the property fields, we can now click OK. If the document is in English, we can click OK in the second pop-up window and move on to the next step. The third window will check if there are any form fields in the document. If there are no form fields, click No, skip this step. In the next window, select the document language, in this case English, then click OK. After clicking OK for the next step, the wizard searches for any images that may be missing alt text and attempts to highlight them by placing a blue mask over the image. As you can see, it's not 100% accurate in doing so, as the mask is slightly to the left of the image. In this case, it's trying to tell us that image number 1 of 3, which consists of photos of business owners, is missing alt text, which is used by screen readers to describe images and graphics, so we need to enter it manually in the field provided. We can then click the next arrow button to move on to image 2 of 3, which is the green bar along the bottom containing text. Given that this graphic contains information in the form of text, we need to enter this information in the alt text for the image. Once we've done that, we can then move on to image 3 of 3 by clicking the next arrow button. Again, the wizard tries to highlight the final graphic using a blue mask, which is not perfect in that it's off to the left of the image. In this case, it's trying to highlight the GBC and School of Business logos. Given that these graphics contain information in the form of text, that's what we need to add as the alt text. We can now click Save and Close to continue. At this point, the wizard opens the Accessibility Checker window to run a final check on the document. Click Start Checking and take a look at the Accessibility Checker results panel to the left. You'll notice that the issues we saw listed when we first ran the checker have now been fixed by the Make Accessible wizard. You'll also notice that two issues, Logical Reading Order and Color Contrast, do not have a green check mark beside them. This is because these two issues will always require manual checks to determine if the content reading order flows smoothly and that there are no contrast issues between text and background.